From the snowy mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. I hope you all survived Christmas with your family. I did. That's why we're here. We're welcoming you to tonight's show, including Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Grab a great book at We Read the Night. Captain Shirk has the SOR Newswire up to date, and you can join the Space Travelers for $5 a month. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by donating to Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. Let's go into the astral realm tonight, shall we? Take a look at what's going on out there. Wherever out there is. Richard Benack is a retired Air Force intelligence officer who specialized in intelligence analysis, information warfare, counterterrorism, and cybercrime. Currently, he is a private investigator and security expert in the state of Washington. In addition to being a PI, Richard is also a registered hypnotherapist in the state. His interests in astral projection developed while doing intelligence and counterterrorism for the Department of Defense. He was also a paranormal investigator before becoming a trainer in astral paranormal investigations. We'll get to Richard in a minute. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. Mr. Richard Benack, thank you so much for joining us. I had the pleasure of meeting you at the Forest Moon Paracon back in September, and I've been excited about getting you on this show ever since then, because everybody I talk to who does astral travel always mentions your name.
Well, thank you, Dave. I've really been looking forward to working with you, and I've always respected your radio show, so this is a great opportunity.
Well, I'm glad to have you here as well, my friend. Did you have a great Christmas?
Yes. Glad to spend some time with the family, which is always a pleasure.
Perfect. Us too. Santa Claus came well for the children, which was always good. He brought electric guitars, so my house has been filled with nothing but absolutely horrendous guitar playing, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, because I think it doesn't matter how bad that you are, and I'm a horrible musician, there's something beautiful about music that everybody needs to learn. So the kids got guitars from Santa Claus, and I am very, very pleased with that. And was Santa good to you?
Santa's always good. Yes, I picked up some training swords for my martial arts training.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. How long have you been doing martial arts?
About 35 years. I started when I was in the military, so.
Oh, well, what do you specialize in?
Currently, I'm doing a lot of work with Hapkido, which is sort of the Korean version of Aikido, but the Koreans have taken it much more into a very martial and combative format than Aikido. And I originally did Taekwondo when I was in the military. We were trained a lot in preparation for the war with North Korea. So a lot of the military people were trained in hand-to-hand combat under the assumption that it could come up, and hopefully it will never do that, but it still could.
Well, let's talk about getting you into the paranormal. You're a former paranormal investigator. I didn't know there was such a thing that you could be formal or former at this, but I guess you can. When did you start your interest in the paranormal?
It was started about 15 years ago. It was I was at a security conference down in New Orleans, and I was there for about 10 days, and in the French Quarter. And I'm sure you've been to the French Quarter, and they had a lot of these occult bookstores there. And, just, like I said, it was one of those things that I kept going in and saying, what is this really about? Trying to understand, the French Quarter, their occult, and something just clicked. So when I came back from my conference, I started looking, and I found some groups here in around Seattle. There's some excellent groups, some great people to work with. Found a teacher who actually kind of introduced me into a lot of this astral projection. A lot of the work he did involves trance work and how to do astral projection. So we did a lot of past life regression, some path working, Kabbalah work, doing forms of astral projection. And I got very, very excited about this. I said I wanted to learn more. So I started training with in hypnotherapy, and the people I did training with, they were not necessarily the usual, very clinical. They some of the people had trained over in India with yogis, and so we ended up doing a lot of work, very types of work such as past life regressions. We did energy work, working with auras. We also did work with soul retrieval, learning to do shadow work. So, and a lot of it had a very strong overlap with the astral projection. You learn to put people into trance, and then you learn back, take them back to an earlier time in their life or to a previous life. We learned breathing techniques and how to go to trance. And the more and more I learned about it, the more exciting it became. And I was able to then apply some of this working with Eric Cooper's team doing paranormal investigations. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed a lot of the operational aspects. And also even just going in, talking with people about, not only astrally projecting to a location to see if they have ghosts, spirits, or somebody's possessed, but to physically go there and interview people. And this is where my private investigative skills came in, is just how to talk to people and understand, what they're seeing. And it gives you a lot of empathy for how, the occult and how the paranormal is affecting people. And it also, from my perspective, it made me very non-judgmental. So when I talk to a person, it's not my job to decide, what they're seeing, is it right or wrong. It's to listen to their problem and see how I can help. So it's made me a better person. And so it very much tied in the whole intelligence work, the hypnotherapy, the investigative. And so this is an area that I continue to look for ways to improve. We one of the things we wanted to do originally was the training I went through was a little ad hoc. It was kind of, you went out, did a bunch of missions, and so my day job is I do program management, and I have done teaching at the college level. So what I did is I put together a formal training program on how to do astral projection to support paranormal investigations. So, and this was one of the things that we could do is, my firm belief is anybody can learn to do astral projection. It's not a gift. It's not a special talent. It's a skill that you can learn if you work hard enough. And so I put together a program where we'll basically the introduction, how to do trance, and then you just build up these skills. We do a set of exercises. Originally, like I said, you may just do an astrally project around your bedroom. See if you can do that, and then you continue to excel. Eventually we you go off to different locations. You learn to move during time and space. We also teach people how to work as a team. And this was one of the biggest challenges I found when doing astral projection is teaching somebody to just do astral projection by themselves is relatively easy. Teaching people to work together in an astral projection situation can be one of the biggest challenges. It's just like any other working together, within the physical world, but it's much more challenging in the astral. So you have people who use different skill levels, different techniques, and having them work together. So what I did was I built a set of exercises, mysteries. We would have people go back to places and investigate. One of them, for example, we went back to Lizzie Borden's house. So this was always one of the big mysteries in the world is, who killed Lizzie Borden's parents. And so I would set up an exercise where we would have teams go back to Lizzie Borden's house in the here and now, astrally project to it, look around, see what's there, see if there's any spirits or anything, and then we would have them go back to in the past to when the crime committed, and then have them do an investigation. What do they see? And so it applies, like I said, basic investigative skills, how to work together to come up with an answer. And nobody really knows the answer. We've had some people with, some very interesting thoughts, but it was this exercise was, again, working together and how to do basic investigations using astral projection while building out your skills. So this is, and this was just our basic training. I also developed some more advanced training, which is much more emphasis on basically investigation skills, how to look at the world as an investigator, how to see things, and then also much more emphasis on psychic self-defense. I learned some interesting work. I had done some work, as we had mentioned, working with Russian special forces. Part of my martial arts training was the Russian special forces. They train in something they call psychoenergetics, and it's very much about how to protect your mind and enhanced awareness. So I've applied some of those in our advanced training and how to deal with very uncomfortable situations. So in our training there, we would send people to astrally project to uncomfortable locations. We sent them, for example, to the Pentagon on the day of the 9/11 attack to help people move on. And it was designed to be a very emotionally and psychically intense exercise, but it also gave them an opportunity to see how they would respond in this situation, and we gave them tools to help protect themselves. So some of the feedback I've had on these exercises was it was some of the most intense training they've ever had, but it was also the most rewarding because we help people. We give them the skills to help other people. People who may be suffering from, paranormal entities or believe they are, and how to work with them. So that's kind of where I ended up, and it's an area that I continue to try and, build out our capabilities to do this.
What made you interested in astral projection, astral travel? We're going to get heavy into your courses and everything that you do and go from there. But what interested you about this?
Well, one of the things after 9/11, I was mobilized to do counterterrorism work, and one of the biggest problems, I had been a Soviet analyst, so we did a lot of work with the Russians, and we understood the Russians very well. After 9/11, we were dealing with a whole new problem that we did not understand. People, the U.S. government and people were like totally confused in how to deal with this. And one of the areas that I kind of had gotten exposed to was the concept of remote viewing. I was also working on my master's degree in criminal justice and intelligence analysis, and I ended up doing a paper for one of my classes on, the use of remote viewing as a counterterrorism tool. And remote viewing is sort of the military's version of astral projection. They kind of created the term remote viewing because it sounds much more scientific than astral projection. So it was very, very interesting. Like I said, the U.S. government had done remote viewing from about the 60s up through 1995 before they canceled the program. And then what we had seen was there was renewed interest in this capability after the 9/11 attack. And so I ended up doing some research, writing kind of a 50-page paper on how it can be applied in a modern counterterrorism environment. And so this kind of, at the time I really didn't know how to do it very well, but I looked at this capability and said, I want to learn more. And so that's what sort of drove me how to do that. I had some minor exposure to do it through my martial arts training, but afterwards I ended up, like I said, working with some hypnotherapists, working with some people who worked in the pagan community, had done a lot of work with that area. It sort of changed my life. It made me realize that the world is not as scientific as we think. My background, I have an undergrad in mathematics and computer science, and a graduate degree in remote sensing and the sciences. And there was a fundamental change when I started doing this work, is that, science is an important tool, but there's still so much we don't understand. And science is a model for working with the world, but tools like astral projection also are very important. And coming from an intelligence background, one of the things with the intelligence is that you don't know what you don't know. This is like I said, is we're trying to find out where are these missiles, or where are these guys hiding out in a cave, and we don't know that, and we recognize that science and technology will only give us very limited capabilities. So for me, it was very much about recognizing we need to think outside the boundary. And intelligence tends to be a good area where, they're reasonably tolerant of that. Back in the 80s, I was working on a project where we were doing future predictions of the world. So I worked on a program where we had to predict what the world looked like in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. And we really, we tried using science and technology, but people were literally using astrology to try and figure out locations of missiles, because it's like, we have nothing else. How do you deal with this problem when you don't have the science and technology don't give you the solution? And things like astral projection, they're not the full solution, but they can supplement it. They can give you hints. They can help work with the science and technology. And so this is one of the areas that I'm doing a lot of interest in, is how do you merge, the psychic with science and the technology. And what's interesting is, I'm sure we'll talk about this in the future, is this seems to be somewhat where the government is going as well. The whole astral projection, program in the government, kind of got turned off in 1995, but they've taken some new avenues. This is, like I said, for me, and very interesting times where we're going, and how, like I said, things like astral projection can work with science and technology, and how they can support each other, and how we as people, need to kind of recognize, move beyond our usual comfort zones and work outside of our boundary and accept things that there is certainly psychic capabilities out there, and they can be developed. So this is, for me, it's a very fascinating adventure.
Richard Benack is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. We have about 2 minutes left. Richard, what is the extent that you know of from your past, and maybe even from some friends who've done this in the military as well in the future? What is your thoughts on what is going on with astral travel in the United States military? Do you think it's still continuing?
I've done a little research. I don't think in the traditional sense. What I've seen is indications that the government is trying to find ways to use technology to enhance psychic capabilities to do that. So like I said, they're not using the term astral projection or even remote viewing because they've got a bad taste. But I think they're looking at how to do that. I talked with one remote viewer in the military, and he was working on a program to see how you can use remote viewing on the internet. So to actually find locations of hostile computer systems.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So with that, and the way that everything has been going lately, especially as we get more advanced, we start looking towards AI, do we start using this as a technique, maybe governmental-wise? And I realize I'm hypothesizing here. But do we use this maybe as a technique, Richard, that we are now looking into certain situations, whether it's on this planet or up in the stars?
I believe so. I think you bring up the artificial intelligence, and I think there's nobody's really talking about it directly, but you're kind of seeing some hints about how AI can be used to support, things like, what we call astral projection. It's like it helps give you hints and provide you information. So I'm utterly convinced that we're going to see a greater integration of technology in astral projection and moving beyond the concept of energy into information. So where basically what we're looking at is it's not so much I need to understand the energy of a location, is what is the information and how do I process it?
Richard, I'm going to get you to hold on right there. We're going to hop out for break here at the bottom of the hour. Richard Benack joins us. We're getting into astral travel all night long here on Spaced Out Radio. Stay tuned. We got more right after this.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Finish off your weekend and kick off your new week with me, Everett Thiemer, right here on Spaced Out Sundays. I'm going to bring you great guests, a little bit of snark, and plenty of information to think about. But don't worry, there's going to be plenty of woo as well. We are going to hit everything in the paranormal and supernatural, including the odd psychic Sundays. So tune us in on Sunday, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio, you can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckard, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Are you having encounters with the paranormal, supernatural, or ufological that you cannot explain? Look no further than the SOR Sightlines Report, brought to you by the Experiencers Support Association. This is Ryan Stacy, head of the Research Association, TESSA. Soon on the Spaced Out Radio website, you'll be able to file your reports and have them researched for you. We are independent and ready to help Spaced Out Radio listeners today.
Move over, brother, and let me own Saturday night.
This is Rich Giordano, and I'm inviting you to tune on in to Spaced Out Saturdays starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, where I'm going to bust open the lids on everything paranormal. Why? Because we want answers, and I'm the guy who's going to deliver those answers to you. Join the chat rooms, and we'll see you this Saturday. Just be there. No, really.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and Bigfoot in the forest. Truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Richard Dolan, as well as others all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Great to have you with us on this Boxing Day in Canada and December 26th, the rest of the world, unless you're part of the Commonwealth. Yes, that's the way we do it. Hey, reminder to all of you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, we got our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Grab a great book from We Read the Night. You can also join the Space Travelers at $5 a month. And don't forget, Captain Shirk has all of our news updated on our website as well. Richard Benack is here tonight on Spaced Out Radio. We're talking astral travel, and a little bit later in the show, he's going to teach us how to do it. So when he does that, make sure you're not driving or doing anything weird, strange that you shouldn't be, because we might all learn how to astral travel tonight. That's my goal. Hope it is for you as well. Richard, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me.
All right, I want to ask you this. What's the purpose of astral traveling?
That's an excellent question, and a lot of it really, really depends. For example, one area that we've used it is paranormal investigation, where, for example, if a client comes to you and says, hey, I believe that my house might be haunted. It may not always be possible to physically go to that place, but with astral projection, you can go there. You can also, go see what's there. And we use, like I said, normally we'll go in teams. That way, you're not just relying on one person's perception of the situation. You want to have multiple people, usually of different skill sets and different levels, and go see what's there. So it's a way to do paranormal investigations anywhere in the world. It's one area that I've also seen it is you can do healing. One of the areas I was trained is that, it's possible that somebody is suffering from some illness. You can astrally project into their subconscious, strongly preferably with their consent, and then sort of take a look and see what they're doing. And it's a way to do healing, to help as a healing technique. It's also used, like we were discussing in the military as there's some, building there that we have absolutely no idea what's in there. You can astrally project there and not necessarily be 100% confident what's there, but you may have a good estimate of, hey, this seems to be about missiles, or there seem to be building aircraft. So there's many different ways to do it. You can also go out and meet people. one of the things, like I said, is just go out and, if you're away from the one you loved, you can go out and meet in an astral plane and just meet and see each other, discuss, communicate. So it's a very versatile tool. You can, like I said, do self-healing as well. You can go back into past lives and look at, perhaps some of the problems in your current life may be tied to what was going on in the past life. Like I said, it's a very versatile tool that is limited only by your imagination.
How do we know we're not seeing imagination or pre-downloaded clips from being in places that we've been before, comparatively to seeing it in an astral travel?
That's actually a common question I've gotten, and my answer is, does it really matter? For example, when I work with people who may say, they have problems astrally projecting, or they have problems visualizing, and because they're really concerned that they might be wrong, what a lot of times I'll say is, well, let's just imagine you were going off to this place, perhaps the Eiffel Tower. It's just, what would that be like? And by helping them, think, okay, I don't need to necessarily visualize it. I will just imagine it. They're opening themselves up. It's very much about your subconscious. So, one of the current thinkings on astral projection is it's about your subconscious collecting to the, the greater unconscious of the world. So it's a lot of it is just learning to accept what you see. And acknowledge it. It doesn't mean, you give up all critical thinking, but you just, learn to accept it. Here is what I'm seeing. The subconscious is a very, very powerful tool. It has a greater awareness of what's going on than we do at the conscious level. And so it's learning to trust this. So, if you're concerned that, hey, how do I know this is fake? Well, just, like I said, do an imagination that, just imagine it. And until you're more comfortable accepting what your subconscious tells you.
Okay. Define subconscious and what it tells you a little bit more, because I think for those out there who may not understand or who do not believe this process, they may have troubles in trusting a subconscious when your mind is so powerful.
And that's exactly it. We as a society are taught, everything in terms of the conscious. The conscious is intellect. It's about, thinking, rationalizing, is this logical? And that's sort of where we are taught, that we need to focus on. I'm sure we've all heard the story, hey, you only use, 10% of your mind. What they're really saying is that the conscious is about 10% of your mental capability and the subconscious is the 90%. The subconscious is your emotions, your feelings, your gut instinct. It's that part of your body that keeps you alive, that tells your cells what to do. The subconscious is, awareness of what's going on. It's about healing. They've done, like I said, significant amounts of study and found that, using, tools like hypnosis, you can do a lot of healing. Perhaps the best example of the subconscious is, I'm sure you've all heard of the placebo effect. It's like, if I tell you that this is a drug, it, will, statistically, it will have a significant impact on your healing. I had a medical student put it as placebo is about 2/3 as powerful as morphine, and it's about our mind, our subconscious, believing that I can control my body. So this is the subconscious. It's our feelings, the emotions. It's everything, that part of our body that's not about actively thinking, rationalizing, and logic. It's where the real power within us lies.
Okay, so you mentioned also that everybody can do this, in your opinion. Is everybody's reactions or sightings through astral going to be different?
Yes, absolutely, because we all perceive the world somewhat differently. We're all, affected by our own biases, our history, our attitudes, our values, past decisions, how we see the world is very much skewed by our past. And it's the same thing with the astral. So how I would see it might be different than, for example, how you would see it, Dave. And that's okay. We learn to accept that. This is your perception of what you saw. Somebody else may have a completely different perception. What people don't realize is that we only process about 0.05% of the information that comes to us. 99.95% of all information we are exposed to we aren't processing. And so this is both at the physical, the conscious level, and the subconscious level. The subconscious is a little bit better at processing it, but even then, there's just so much information that it can take in. So, and we just accept that you are not going to be seeing the whole situation. I might be seeing a very different situation.
Okay, so if you and I are heading to the same location, let's just pick a spot anywhere in the world. Let's go
Sure.
Disneyland, and
Okay.
I say I'm going to meet you at the Matterhorn. All right. Now I've been to Disneyland numerous times. I haven't gone since 2010. I got to get back there. God, it's been 10 years since I've been there already. That's terrible. Anyways, I'm a huge Disneyland kind of guy too. Anyways, let's say you and I meet at the Matterhorn, and you're telling me to meet you beside someone who is standing beside a garbage can, and she is wearing a red shirt with Mickey Mouse ears and blue jean shorts. All right. Am I going to be able to see that person?
Ideally, yes, you will be. But again, a lot of it, you could be a situation where you may not necessarily be able to see that person because your understanding of Disneyland could be very, very different. You go there, for example, if you were in Disneyland, and last time you were there was in the 1970s, that could very much skew what you're seeing there. So as you go there, you may see it very, very differently than somebody who is going differently. And this is why communication is so important when you work as a team. It's being very, very clear and concise on what you're doing. So one technique that I've used when we do our investigations is we use Zillow and Google Maps. Some people call it cheating, but a lot of it is what we want to do is make sure that we all have a common understanding of the location. So, if we were going to Disney World or Disneyland, I would want to make sure that your understanding of, how you see Disneyland is the same as myself. So it's like, okay, here's a map of Disneyland. Here's what it looks like in 2019. And so that this way we can go to the same place. We currently do the same thing when we do astral projection investigation. It's like, if somebody gives us their address, we research it. So it's not all about, kind of just psychic. It's true investigation. We're looking at what does this place look like on Google Maps. We look it up on Zillow, for example. What's the environment like? For example, is it, in kind of an industrial area? Is it, we had one client who, their house was from the 1940s and was in the middle of a Civil War battlefield, and they said they were having all sorts of issues. Well, I said, yeah, your house is from the 1940s and it's in the middle of a Civil War battlefield. So there was always a lot of paranormal investigations, as well as, old plumbing and electrical systems. So, we do the research. So it's not you want to make sure that you understand your target. You have a mutual understanding of it. So if you and I were going to Disneyland to astrally project, I would look it up. I'd make sure I know the location. And that way, when we get there, we both have a consistent view of where we're going.
Richard Benack is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. We are talking astral travel. All right, what are the side effects of this? Are there any? Am I going to have any health issues over doing this?
No, it's not. There's no health. A lot of it can be actually quite beneficial. It's in a way, it's a form of meditation. The overall experience can be very intense, though. This is, if we're sending you to, for example, when we did an exercise to go to the Pentagon, a number of our students found it very, very intense, and even life-changing, maybe a little extreme, but it did change their perspective. So when you astrally project, you have to be open to seeing things and being exposed to things that will take you outside your comfort zone. And if you're not ready for that, then it's probably not, for you. Like I said, you may go see, get exposed to some paranormal situations that you're not ready to accept. One of the things you may also see is, like I said, is if you see some entities in the astral plane that could make you very, very uncomfortable. So it's not going to affect your health, but it may change, how you see the world and how you respond to it.
So is there a danger in doing this?
There's, like I said, is one of the things that you want to be doing, and what I work with my students is psychic self-defense. So I use a technique called stress inoculation, where we take people to different places and we start building up their ability to deal with these type of interactions. So, for example, one of our first exercises, we might go to a cemetery, and say, okay, I see some ghosts there, and then from there, you continually build up their ability to handle that through training. It's based on, some of the training I've done in the martial arts, where you take your white belt and then you start building them, putting them through more and more rigorous training so that they can handle much more intense situations. So just throwing somebody into a really nasty, unpleasant astral situation, yes, that could have some unpleasant consequences. But, once you train to do it, you're ready for it, and it kind of builds a much stronger psyche. So,
well, that brings up a whole load of questions here, as we got about 4.5 minutes here before we go to break at the top of the hour, already flying on by. What happens when you leave your body? If you leave your body, does that not leave your body exposed to any type of attack?
Well, basically, is one of the recommendations is you definitely want to find a safe place to do this. So, when we do this a little bit later on, is I'm going to recommend find a safe, comfortable place. In your bedroom or your den, someplace that you are very comfortable, that you will be physically safe, and that's very, very important. But again, like I said, there's not necessarily a significant risk to your physical body. One of the common concerns I've gotten is like, well, I'm afraid that I won't be able to come back to my body. And I convinced them that this will never happen. You will always come back. Now, the issue a lot of times is you may not want to come back. Says, I really like this astral. I have this amazing, beautiful place in the astral plane. It's so lovely. I don't ever want to come back to my body. Well, you're going to have to. At some point, you're going to need to use the bathroom, or somebody's going to come up and try and, bring you back. So, but overall, like I said, is if you're going to do astral projection, find a comfortable place, a safe place. But, if there's a threat, you will come back. It will bring you back immediately if there was some sort of risk. Your body has that self-protection built in.
All right. So do we have to worry about like dark beings, evil forces, bad aliens invading and infesting our body once we leave?
Not generally, no. Now, what you want to do is when you do astral project is you want to make sure that you do sort of a cleansing motion so that you're not bringing back anything nasty while you're out traveling. So again, standard psychic hygiene. It's like I said, be very focused, aware of what you're doing. Don't bring anything back. But overall, from the vast majority of experiences, it's going to be a good experience. And the way at least I do it is I make sure that at the end, you're better than when you started. So one of what I try and do is I try and give people an experience. So it's like when they do it, they feel a little bit better than than when they actually started the process. And how to do psychic cleaning so that they're not bringing back anything unpleasant from their trip.
I didn't think that was possible, my friend, that you could come back unclean. I guess what you're saying is, for what a lot of paranormal people would put it to, is bringing back attachments, correct?
Exactly. And this is, like I said, is, yes, it's very possible that, I could, you could go to some place that, just really you didn't want to go. It could cause, probably not a lot of trauma, but a very unpleasant experience that you'll bring back. You've been exposed to, and it's the same thing in the real world. Is if you were exposed to some level of trauma or violence, it could come back with you at a physical level. Same thing in the astral projection, the astral plane, or if you're going to someplace else. And so this is why, like I said, training and rigorous practice and working with teammates who keep an eye out. So, for example, one of the key roles in a team situation is Overwatch. This is somebody who's a very well-trained, highly experienced traveler who will want to keep, an eye out and make sure everybody is doing okay. If somebody is behaving a little bit differently or seems to be having problems, they can then, intervene and help the person. And then when they come back, there's some things that you can do to help them as well to make sure that they're okay.
Very interesting on that note. Very interesting. Richard, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to go out for a little bit of a break here on Spaced Out Radio. When we come back, we're going to learn more about astral travel. We're going to get ourselves warmed up as well. because Richard is going to try and take us all on a journey here tonight. More Spaced Out Radio with our guest, Richard Benack, coming up in Hour 2.
Move over, brother, and let me own Saturday night.
This is Rich Giordano, and I'm inviting you to tune on in to Spaced Out Saturdays starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, where I'm going to bust open the lids on everything paranormal. Why? Because we want answers, and I'm the guy who's going to deliver those answers to you. Join the chat rooms, and we'll see you this Saturday. Just be there. No, really.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Are you having encounters with the paranormal, supernatural, or ufological that you cannot explain? Look no further than the SOR Sightlines Report, brought to you by the Experiencers Support Association. This is Ryan Stacy, head of the Research Association, TESSA. Soon on the Spaced Out Radio website, you'll be able to file your reports and have them researched for you. We are independent and ready to help Spaced Out Radio listeners today.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
Hey, Spaced Out Radio fans! It's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from dance to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
The Call of the Wild is in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is one of the hottest bars and restaurants in the city. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose will rock you like a hurricane all night long. Great food with everything on the menu at $6.95 near the corner of Nelson and Granville. Get your horns up and come rock with us. The Moose Vancouver, the official rocking bar of Spaced Out Radio.
A little bit of science, a little bit of skepticism. Add a dash of snark and you have the makings of Spaced Out Sundays with me, Everett Thiemer. Together we will look into the reality of the paranormal with an open eye and rational thought. Oh, did I mention there'll be plenty of woo as well? Your time spent with Spaced Out Sundays will make the night even better. The chat rooms are open, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the story you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Come hang out with Spaced Out Radio, where we own the night. This is Carl. You can follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, and during the show, use the hashtag Spaced Out Radio to chat with us live. On Instagram, at Dave Scott SOR. On Facebook, give our page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. SOR archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. Come join us, or I will come join you. See you at your window.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Hour 2 of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. What a pleasure in chatting with all of you on this Boxing Day. If you're part of the Commonwealth, just a regular, ordinary December 26th. If you are everywhere else, we want to thank everyone listening in on KDNF AM 1560 in Dangerfield, Texas, WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia. We're on KZFX 93.7 FM in Ridgecrest, California, KDUN AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon, and down in New Orleans, UPRN 107.7 FM, and what a great place to play on. Yes, Joe Montaldo is just rocking it over there. All right, on the digital side, thanks to everyone listening in on Revolution Radio and Kingdom of Nye Radio. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, you can check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Oh, yes, it's one of these. Daedalist. Daedalist is your password. Use it wisely, space travelers, as the Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault, grab a great book at We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers for $5 a month. And don't forget, Captain Shirk has the news updated daily. We're talking astral travel tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Richard Benack is our guest tonight. He trains people to do this. We're going to learn about that here in hour number 2. Richard, welcome back.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me back.
before we get into any tests, I want to get some audience questions in here because there's a few. All right, Eugene, who's an astral traveler as well, good friend of this show. Hi, Eugene. He is asking, can you describe the exiting of the spirit body and what it's like?
Certainly, I can describe, like I said, as what it's like for me. Different people obviously will have different experiences, and very much it'll depend on the technique that you use. For when I do it, it's actually a very pleasant experience. I've got my body is relaxing there. I feel my energy, my astral energy, my spirit leaving. And as I do, I will watch my body, and it feels very relaxed. So I see my body as being very relaxed there. And then I feel very much like myself. So for when I exit it, it's okay. My body's there relaxed. I'm then headed off to whatever adventure I'm off to next. So it's a very easy experience. And that's why when I train people, I try and encourage that, where it should not be difficult, it should not be painful, it should be an easy, natural experience. At least the first few times, maybe there may be some difficulty, some fear, but after a while, you get to the point where you can just do it very quickly. Other people may have a very different experience, though.
Why would they have a different experience? And what could that experience be?
Well, a lot of it depends on, like I said, is how, what their skills are, what their training is. Fear is often a big issue. For example, as I had mentioned, a lot of people are very afraid of leaving their body because they fear they will not come back. So they feel like they may need some sort of silver cord. I personally don't teach that, but if somebody is afraid that they may not be able to come back to their body, they may want to use a silver cord. They may feel very, very reluctant to do that. And again, a lot of it is what is the emotional and psychic state you're in. So your astral state will very much reflect, what's your physical state. If you're, under a lot of stress, you're ill, you may see that within your astral body as well. So,
right. All right. Well, let's move on to another question here. And let me just find it here. I think it was on Twitter here from Greco, who is asking, can a person get psychologically or physically harmed during astral projection?
It can be very intense for the person. So depending on the situation they're going to, it could be very much intense. If, for example, one of the exercises I'll work with is we'll take somebody to necessarily what I call as a sketchy part of town, and then they have to go see, like I said, is what's going on there, the people, and it may be an uncomfortable area to walk through there. So there's definitely going to be stress. There could be situations, for example, that, it could be too much for the person. And this is why I recommend, at least until you're very comfortable with the process, working with somebody who can be there to sort of overwatch, keep you, safe. So a lot of it is, like I said, is you don't want to necessarily go looking for problems until you're very, very experienced. But when you come back to your body, you're physically going to be safe, but what you've actually experienced could be intense and could have some after effects. So,
is that with attachments? Like, can you get killed during this? Because in talking to the hundreds of times I have with Eric Cooper from Forest Moon Paranormal, he said this could be a very dangerous thing where you can die.
That's not been my experience. It's certainly very possible that it's happened. I've never seen it. I'm not sure how that would work, where you would die. You're going to come back to your body, one way or the other. You're coming back. But again, like I said, depending on what you've experienced in this, you're also bringing it back. You could have a situation where you might be getting some level of trauma. I had a student who came back who was definitely not ready for the experience, and so we had to kind of bring him back. We had to do some aftercare with him, but at least I am not aware of a way that you will die. You're coming back one way or the other, and you will have this experience as part of your life, just as if it was a physical experience.
Okay, when you say aftercare, define that. What does that mean for those of us who don't understand?
Certainly. So aftercare, like I said, is after the situation. Ideally, it's come back and you're feeling really good that you've had a good experience. If, for example, you've had a not so good experience, you may want to do some meditation, some relaxation, kind of a releasing of what happened. How do you take care of yourself after this situation? It's in a lot of ways what happens in the astral is very similar to what happens in the physical. So if you were exposed to a very unpleasant situation in the physical, you saw something that very uncomfortable, or you had an extremely unpleasant situation with other people, how would you take care of yourself? And you would want to do the same thing after an unpleasant astral, maybe whether it's taking a bath or doing some meditation, going out and just having a nice meal, or being with family in a caring, loving situation. So after an intense situation, an intense event, psychic or physical, you want to take care of yourself. Be good. And then, like I said, meditation is a good way to kind of release, letting go, and say, it's whatever happened there, I want to release it, let it go. It's not part of who I want to be.
All right, Will in the Space Travelers Club is asking, and I'm going to expand on this a little bit. He is asking about reptilians. Can you encounter reptilians or other alien beings on the astral realm?
Again, a lot of it is different people will have very, very different opinions on this. And I want to be clear, I can offer my opinion, but other people's experiences, you can you may encounter a whole bunch of different things, like I said, UFOs, entities, attachments, demons. How you process this will very much be based on, your beliefs and your experiences. So, and this is one of the things, like I said, is when I work with somebody, is it's very much as a client, is my job is not to judge what you're experiencing. I will accept what you experience and work within that perception and experience. So, it's very possible that you will definitely can run into reptilians or the Greys or any of those, if that's within your belief system. If you don't believe in them, then you're probably not going to run into them. So, like I said, it's whatever your belief system is, and then it's when you work with that, it's being very, very sympathetic toward it and acknowledge this is how they are processing it.
One final question before we ask you how to do this, and this comes from Greco on Twitter. Can your spirit, while in astral, enter into another person, even if it's briefly, kind of like a transference of consciousness?
Yes. It's a technique I learned as a hypnotherapist, where you can you can sort of move into somebody's subconscious as a healing technique, where you can go in and help them, support them if they're having some problems. You can also help, like I said, provide guidance at a subconscious level to do this. It's one of those things that there is an opportunity for abuse, so it's something you need to be very, very careful about doing. You want to make sure that you're getting consent when possible, but you can go into it. There's also the malicious thing that situation that I've heard of that is a theory coming out of Russia, was that you can also implant what they call psychoviruses in somebody's subconscious. You can go in and implant the equivalent of a computer virus in the subconscious. It's something that's been discussed at a high level, but the details have not really come out. So, yes, it is possible to go into somebody's subconscious.
All right, I'm going to sneak in one more question because it's from the SOR Space Travelers Club on our website. And this is from Hadarok, who is asking. He says, I had this, what I call a dream, where I was out of my body and flying over the trees and such. I was drawn back to myself and hit my head on a tree limb. When I woke, my neck was in extreme pain. Simply decided it was all in my head. Was it? Because my neck hurt for a couple weeks after that.
It may not be. A lot of it is when we sleep, a lot of times we sleep very uncomfortably, and at least I've noticed that. And when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, my neck or my back is really hurting. It's very possible that could also affect your dream. So a lot of times, like I said, is the physical discomfort your body is feeling could then be represented within your dream as well. So,
all right, how do we do this? Take us through it.
Certainly. So when the way I do it, and again, there are many different ways to do astral projection. There is no right way and wrong way. And this is, I'm very, very clear, is that if you have a way that works, like Dave, I know you have a way that works great for you. So I would never presume to tell you this is the way that you have to do it. The way I teach it, if I was teaching somebody who had never done it, is I would basically help make sure that they're in a comfortable place, someplace that's safe, their body, not driving like we talked about, and then have them relax. We would then do some breathing techniques, so kind of help the body breathe, relax, because breathing is a great way to, prep for astral projection. I like working with the chakra system, the 7 chakra systems. Again, it's my choice, but it's certainly not a requirement. I like working with the chakras because the chakras are a model of our relationship with the universe. So it's like you kind of open up the chakras and allow yourself to get ready. Then I'll focus on, our astral body. Within our body, like I said, is the astral self. And this is, some people call it their soul, some people call it their chi, their spirit, their astral body. However each person perceives this, that part of them that is separate from their physical body. And I think most people recognize, yes, I have my physical body, but there's something more. There's something that makes me, me. And so we have them focus on that and then just help them, separate that astral body from their physical body. And that's, a lot of times that can be a challenge. Sometimes people have problems doing it. They have to do it a few times. But learning to let go, and a lot of it is often fear. The fear, that, something might happen, that they might not come back, that they might not be doing it right. So this is the biggest challenge with it, is helping them separate out. And it's very much about just envisioning the astral body leaving their physical body, and then just having your astral body look down at your physical body and see, yes, it is safe, it is comfortable, it is relaxed, so that they know they have place to come back to. And then from there, you pick your target. Your target could be a place in the physical world, in New York or Toronto or Vancouver. It could be a time. It's, we're going back to, 1700 in London. Or it could be something in the astral plane. So today we're going to kind of do a form of Akashic records where it's a place in the astral plane where the collective unconscious is, where all knowledge, and we can go out and access that information. So again, it could be real. It could be a real place. A real time, or someplace in the Akashic record, in the astral plane, which is much more nebulous, and then you can move to go there and work from there. So there's lots of opportunities where you want to go, and it's just giving yourself the confidence that I can go there and I can interact with it. And then after that, what you do is we'll come back to, you'll have your astral body return to your physical body. You'll see that you're still there, very healthy, relaxed, and then joining back. And again, you will always come back. There's ways to, force the astral back into the body. If you pour cold water on somebody, they're coming back. It's not a pleasant experience, but they're coming back. But we like to do it much more gently. And then, when they come back and join the physical and the astral, then kind of just helping them process it. So, hey, what did you see? And, what did you want to take away from that experience? Making sure that they're okay, and then bringing them back. To where they started. All right. Well, we have only about 2.5 minutes here before we got to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Richard Benack is our guest. Can we do this? When we come back from the break, can you take us through something where our audience can go through this and do this themselves, and we can do it all together? Is that possible? Yep, we will. I actually had planned it where we'll go out to do an adventure. Each person can go to the Akashic records and get an answer. So what I want people to think about is, what question would you like answered in your life? Whether it's about relationships, finance, health. Think of a question that you would like answered on your trip to the Akashic records, to the collective unconscious of universal knowledge. Okay, I got to ask you this, though, before we go, so we got about 90 seconds. What about sleep paralysis? Is that part of the program? It's not part of my program. It's something that does happen. I think learning to astrally project can actually help prevent that. I mean, that's not scientific, but my personal opinion is that you're much more comfortable learning to work with your subconscious. You have greater control of your dreams, so you're less likely to suffer from the sleep paralysis. So it's a way to, I don't want to say prevent, but a way to kind of make it less likely to happen. Well, that's interesting. Very interesting, because we do have people who are in the chat rooms right now saying that, they have experienced this. I've never have. I think that's the one that would scare me, is feeling paralyzed. Yeah, I've never had it. I think a lot of it is just giving the confidence. It's like lucid dreaming. When you do astral projection, you also find out you get much better at lucid dreaming as well. So I think it gives you greater control of at the subconscious level.
Interesting. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on Spaced Out Radio. Richard Benack is our guest tonight. When we come back, I want you all to be in a nice, relaxed mood. I want you to just chill on out on your bed, in your favorite chair, on your couch. Let's all go for a ride, shall we? Astral Travel with Richard Benack coming up next on Spaced Out Radio.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Finish off your weekend and kick off your new week with me, Everett Thiemer, right here on Spaced Out Sundays. I'm going to bring you great guests, a little bit of snark, and plenty of information to think about. But don't worry, there's going to be plenty of woo as well. We are going to hit everything in the paranormal and supernatural, including the odd psychic Sundays. So tune us in on Sunday, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio. Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and Bigfoot in the forest. Truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Richard Dolan, as well as others all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio. You can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Move over, brother, and let me own Saturday night. This is Rich Giordano, and I'm inviting you to tune on in to Spaced Out Saturdays starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, where I'm going to bust open the lids on everything paranormal. Why? Because we want answers, and I'm the guy who's going to deliver those answers to you. Join the chat rooms, and we'll see you this Saturday. Just be there. No, really.
Past the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. Glad to have each and every one of you tuning us on in. Reminder to all of you, if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault, grab a great book at We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers for $5 a month, and Captain Shirk has you updated on the SOR Newswire Daily. We're about to astral travel tonight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Are you comfy? Are you cozy? I'm ready. I am totally ready. Got my feet on the ground, my shoes off. Richard Benack is our guest tonight on the show. We're about to astral travel. Richard, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Dave. So, I've been looking forward to kind of this part of the interview today. What we're going to do today is we're going to just go out to the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records are sort of this place in the collective unconscious where there is information available. It's somewhat like a library. And there are many ways that the Akashic Records are going to be are perceived. We're going to look at them a little bit differently and have you interact very much with somebody that you see as a mentor or a teacher or somebody you can learn from, and have you ask them a question, some question in your life that you would like to answer. Again, we can't guarantee that the answers that they provide are going to be absolutely right, but I think they're going to provide you information that will help you move forward on some issue. So what I'd like everybody to do now is, one, please do not do this exercise if you're driving or working with heavy machinery or in some place that you are not safe. Please make sure you're in a safe location, very comfortable, and just make yourself very comfortable. Get relaxed. And as you do this, you're just feeling very comfortable and relaxed. Look at a wall or a ceiling, some spot on the ceiling, and just watch it as you breathe in through your nose and mouth. You're breathing in and exhale through the nose and mouth. And with each breath, you're going to feel more and more relaxed as you continue to watch that spot, relaxing deeper and deeper. You're feeling so comfortable, so relaxed as you continue to watch this spot on the ceiling or wall, each breath becoming more and more relaxed. And as you feel your eyes growing heavy, just close them, relax them. Feel those eyelids close and how much more relaxed you are, knowing that you're going to astrally project. And whatever techniques you use for astral projection, you are free to use. We're going to lead you through some exercises, but there are many different ways to astrally project as you get more relaxed and deeper, as long as you're comfortable. And as you continue to breathe in through the nose and exhale, we're going to work with the chakra system. The chakra system is a model for our interaction with the universe. We're going to open our chakras and make ourselves open to receiving information and knowledge and awareness to help us improve our lives. So as you now relax, I want you to focus on your root chakra. This is your tailbone. And as you relax and breathe into the root chakra, it's often associated with the color red, blood red. And you feel this chakra opening up, your connection to the earth, the world around you. You feel very connected. As we move up to the next chakra, the sacral chakra, the sacral chakra is below your abdomen. It's often associated with sex and pleasure, connection and relationships. It's our connection to romance and love. And it's associated with the color orange. The orange of a setting sun, a brilliant setting sun, deep orange. As you breathe into your sacral chakra, you feel it opening up, making yourself more aware, more open. As we then move up to your solar plexus chakra, right below the chest, you're breathing in, and this is our connection to the body, our body, how we interact, our spirits, our astral self. It's often associated with the color yellow, the yellow of a noonday sun, a bright. And as you relax and open up this chakra, this incredibly powerful chakra of our body, we move up to our heart chakra in the center of our chest. As you continue to breathe and relax, this is our connection to our feelings, our love, our relationship with each other and our loved ones, our feelings and our emotions. You feel yourself opening up, more aware of feelings, emotions, allowing them to open. As we move up to our throat chakra, this is often associated with the color blue, a light blue, the blue of the ocean. And this is about communication, how we communicate with other people and ourselves. We allow ourselves to be free to communicate what we believe and feel. We move up next to our third eye chakra, in between our eyebrows. This is our connection to the psychic world, our connection to the astral plane. This is how we connect. It's associated with the color indigo, a deep, deep purple. And then finally, our crown chakra. This is 1 inch above your head. And this is associated with, related to our spirituality, how we see divinity in ourselves, inside ourselves and outside. As you continue to breathe now, I want you to feel the energy flowing from your crown chakra all the way to your root chakra, opening up, allowing this connection to your astral body as the energy flows between the crown and root chakras. You can feel this connection within yourself, your astral body. For many, the astral body might be called their spirit, or their soul, or their consciousness. It has many names, and however you see it is correct for you. And I want you to focus now on that part of you that's you, your spirit, your astral self. That makes what makes you yourself. And feel this part of you, this body of you, this astral body expanding, moving beyond your physical body, expanding a little bit where it separates from your physical body. You feel this astral body moving. You may visualize it or just imagine what it would be like if this astral body were leaving your body. As you visualize or imagine this separation of astral and physical. And it feels so natural. It's so natural as your astral body starts moving a few inches above your physical body. You feel that separation. And then as your astral body moves up just a few feet, it looks down on your physical body. Your physical body is so relaxed and safe. You see how safe it is. And you know that you can come back to this physical body anytime you want. Anytime during this journey you may come back. It is your decision. You're perfectly safe. You are free to return whenever you feel like. And as your astral projection, your astral body moves up, you feel it separating, leaving your room and your house. You're moving into a different place. It's like our world, but different. The astral world has similarities to the physical, but it's often very, very different. It has many of the things you would see in a physical place, but many things that are different and you would not see. And as you move off into this place of the astral plane, a plane that's outside of our reality but touches our reality, they're related and affect each other, but it's different. And as you now move into the astral plane, you're going to see a large building, a very large building. It looks like a castle. And you know what kind of castle it is. You've seen pictures of this type of castle before. And as you move, your astral body is able to float over to this castle-like building. You see a door, an open door. It's very, very open and inviting. And you walk in across the bridge. As you walk down the hall is lit. It's lit with torches. And these torches make everything bright. And along both sides of this hall, you see doors. You can see the doors, and there are many different types and colors of doors. Wooden doors, metal doors, red doors and green doors, brown doors, some with knockers and some just with doorknobs. As you walk down, you're going to notice one door looks different. It calls to you. This is the door that you were meant to go in. And I want you to now make sure you have a question that you would like answered about your life. The question may be about your relationships, your loves, family, money, career, business opportunities, or it may be about your health. You may have a question about your health. And as you do that, I want you to go in, and you're going to go into this room, and you're going to see somebody there that's familiar to you, that you have an immediate comfort with. As you do that, as you move in and see this person, you're going to know them. It may be somebody who you know, or somebody that you want to know, that you respect. It may be an older version of yourself, but this person has knowledge that they will share with you. And I want you to ask them that question in your life that you would like answered. And we're going to take a moment and let you communicate with them. Yeah. And now I want you to finish the question. While it may have only seemed like a few minutes in your perception, this could be a discussion that's many hours. In the astral world, there's time is very, very different. So once you've gotten the answer to your need, I want you to now finish up. And you can always come back. You can come back to this room or a different room. As you finish up, you're going to walk outside the door. Acknowledge this person who has helped you. Thank them. And you will have the option of coming back or going to another door in the future. But you now feel that you have some answer, or at least the start of an answer to a question. You know what the next steps are, that whatever question you have. And as you start walking back through this hall filled with torches, you're going back, walking outside the castle. And you feel your astral body being lifted up, starting to fly, your return trip to your body. knowing that you've received some information, valuable information, and knowing that you have the opportunity to come back at some time in the future. And as your astral body returns to the room where your physical body is, you look down. You're able to see your physical body so relaxed, comfortable, and your astral body. I want you to now visualize or imagine your astral body now connecting to your physical body, joining together, coming back together, relaxing deeper and deeper, physical and astral connecting back together, that joining. You feel now relaxed. Your body has gone through such an amazingly relaxing and healing experience, and your astral is now has a piece of valuable knowledge as we come back. You feel your body relaxing. And as you start coming back, feeling your body coming back, you realize you has been such an amazing adventure. You've learned something. Your body feels so comfortable, almost like you've had a full night's sleep. Astral and physical are now joined, coming back, fully integrated, ready for whatever lays ahead. You are better prepared physically and mentally and psychically with some knowledge and a tool that you can come back and get additional knowledge. Coming back, relaxed, ready, coming back, feeling yourself relaxed as you open your eyes and feel so amazing. Coming back, just open your eyes, sit up, lay, and just take a moment, breathing, relax, and acknowledging what you've learned. Welcome back, everybody. So that was a very brief journey to the astral. And again, you may experience it very differently, your experiences with the astral plane. This was just one version of it. Whatever works for you is what you should continue to work with, but be open to different opportunities and different ways of doing things.
Well, I can tell you what I saw. I can't speak for anybody else. What I saw was a purplish gray room. And a good friend of yours and mine, Megan Gehring, was in there. We've had her on the show talking about astral travel. And she basically told me, yeah, this is as far as you are going to go. This is all we're going to allow you to see for right now.
And sometimes that's the information you need. You are not ready for additional. But that's, that lets you know that there's some additional work you need to do. So.
Oh, yes. Yes. Always that additional work, my friend. Yeah. I never get the easy road. I just want the easy road once. Just once.
Just give it to me.
Yeah, no kidding. We got about a minute here, just over a minute to go before we go to break at the top of the hour. Richard Benack is our guest tonight. We're astral traveling in the SOR Space Travelers Club on our website. Hadarach is asking, is it normal to feel heavier when you re-enter your body? Literally felt like my hands were like lead weights.
That's definitely yes, because what's happening is you're joining the physical and the astral. When you're astral, you feel very light, and then you're getting connected to the physical. So it's not unusual.
I do have to profess this, Richard. I promised myself I was not going to go under. I promised myself, because I want to monitor the chat room, see what people are seeing and hearing and the experiences. Yeah, you got me. Your soothing voice got me, my friend. Can't believe it.
Well, Hopefully it was a good experience for you.
It was, like I said, I have astral traveled before. I don't usually admit to things that I've done, when it gets to, certain aspects. But you got me, I felt, right from the beginning when you were going through the chakras, I felt my feet, all of a sudden get heavy, and I went, oh, well, here we go. Might as well just go along for the ride. I hope all of you did as well. Richard, we're blaming you for this. We have Richard Benack for another 30 minutes on Spaced Out Radio. Then we get to the SOR Newswire and the Thought of the Dave. Yes, we'll be back with more Spaced Out Radio in hour number 3 coming up next.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch? Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Move over, brother, and let me own Saturday night. This is Rich Giordano, and I'm inviting you to tune on in to Spaced Out Saturdays starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, where I'm going to bust open the lids on everything paranormal. Why? Because we want answers, and I'm the guy who's going to deliver those answers to you. Join the chat rooms, and we'll see you this Saturday. Just be there. No, really.
A little bit of science, a little bit of skepticism. Add a dash of snark and you have the makings of Spaced Out Sundays with me, Everett Thiemer. Together we will look into the reality of the paranormal with an open eye and rational thought. Oh, did I mention there'll be plenty of woo as well? Your time spent with Spaced Out Sundays will make the night even better. The chat rooms are open, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio. You can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, especially if you're listening in on UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans. KZFX 93.7 FM in Ridgecrest, California. KDUN AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon. WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia. Down in Dangerfield, Texas. KDNF AM 1560. On the digital side, thanks for tuning in. On our archives, they are free for you if you don't know that. YouTube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Daedalus. Daedalus is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. You can catch up on the news with We Read the Night, and don't forget to sign up for the SOR Space Travelers Club as well. We're talking astral travel tonight. Richard Benack is our guest tonight. He trains people how to just Go for a ride wherever you want to go. Richard, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. We're going to continue on. I got some questions from the audience building up here. This one comes from Sparky, who is asking, engaging in astral travel, are you always projecting your astral body, or is one actually projecting your consciousness?
Yes, that's actually a major debate. What is your astral body versus your consciousness? I personally believe they're one and the same, but I've had a mentor who I deeply respect and I learned a lot from, who sees them as very, very separately. So it's one of those questions I don't really worry a whole lot about. It's what works for you. If you see it as, you're projecting your consciousness and that works, that is excellent. If you see it's more kind of the astral body or your soul, that is fine. It's what works for you.
Interesting. All right, let's go back to the last half hour. People just tuning in, you missed. We did an astral travel test with a bunch of our listeners who took part, and thank you for those that did. All right, Sharon is asking. She's all the way down in Arkansas. Hi, Sharon in Arkansas. She is asking, my body got all tingling, and then I saw before me a fox, then an ostrich, then a cougar appeared. What the heck does this mean?
And that's something that, like I said, is you would have to ask yourself, how do you perceive these? A lot of times what happens is your subconscious is sending you images or symbols. And, how I would see that would probably be very different than you would see it. The fox is often, could be a sign of wisdom, but it could be also a little bit on the sneaky or devious side. So this is something, like I said, is for you to ponder and, maybe do a return trip and see if you see them again.
Do animals come into play quite a bit?
A lot of times they do, yes, because like I said, the subconscious uses images. It's a very powerful technique. And, like I said, foxes, often have the view of being, a little on the devious side, but clever. But again, different people might interpret them differently, and animals are a very common imagery. When you travel through the astral plane, as like I said, maybe if you see a bear, that could be much more scary and frightening. Versus maybe a dove. So it's the way your subconscious is communicating, and with practice you can learn to interpret the symbols and images.
Okay, if you see animals, wouldn't they be considered like maybe your spirit animals that you're getting in touch with? Maybe they're protecting you or something along those lines?
Yeah, that's often a very common, is that, it could be a spirit. It could also be a little bit as something that's keeping an eye on you, a little on the wary side. It's like, that you may want to just be aware. It could represent, something, I don't want to use the word danger, but something that might be coming after you if you're not aware. So it depends, like I said, is how do you feel about that animal? That would be my question is, was it something, yes, I enjoyed having it there, or was it something that made me a little scary? So it's each person's interaction with the animal will tell a lot of what it means.
What are some of the side effects for our listeners who did this that they may have happen?
Well, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. I mean, something like you've got a little bit more knowledge. You may have a deeper sleep tonight. So after you finish the entire show, you may find out when you go home that you may have a deep sleep. You may have some intense dreams. You may find yourself, wow, that was very, very intense. Maybe doing some lucid dreaming. Not uncommon experience is that, the information you got might make sense in the morning after you've processed it overnight. So there's no real risks to this, but again, you may feel a little differently. Your body is going to be more relaxed, and the big thing is you may do a deep sleep and some intense dreams.
I would agree with that, and I'm looking forward to my sleep because I'll be honest with you, I'm a little drowsy still. I really am a little drowsy still, but that's okay. And if we're going to experience that, that's fine. What about people, though? Okay, when you say intense dreams, what do you mean by that?
They may seem, like I said, very real. So a lot of times people kind of see, dream as there's something they're watching, happening. While, after a session like this, you may experience it deeper. You may feel it, like I said, in your body, like whatever's happening. It's just going to be, like I said, you may actually feel some lucid dreaming where, hey, I'm interacting, and I'm affecting my dream. So, because the dreams are about your subconscious, and we did a lot of deep work with your subconscious. So, I think the vast majority of people I've ever worked with, it's going to be a positive experience, but you may have some, like I said, it could be somewhat on the intense side, especially if you have, like I said, an unpleasant dream. So whatever your dream is, it may seem more intense, stronger. You may feel much more connected to it.
Right. I can see that. For people, though, who have troubles remembering their dreams, is that going to make a difference?
No, because it's not what you remember, is how do you feel? We've all had dreams where it's like, I don't remember what happened, but, I feel really good. And I think that's a positive, because sometimes your dreams, like I said, you go so deep that you kind of have a form of amnesia. You don't remember it. Again, it's the deep processing of the subconscious. So it's taking what happened and processing it. It's like with the computer, in the background they have that CPU is doing some processing in the background while you're maybe browsing or something like that. And that's how a lot of the subconscious works.
Richard, for people who use this or learn how to do this, I look at it much like a Ouija board, that there's always that temptation to use it for something nefarious. What happens if you do?
A lot of it, like I said, is it's like very similar to in the physical world. You start doing bad things. I mean, eventually bad things will catch up to you. Like I said, you don't want to go out. Like I said, it's just, going to cause you problems. If you're going out there trying to use this on, people, you may find somebody who decides they want to use it for you. I knew a guy who, was reasonably talented at astral projection and decided to go keep an eye on his girlfriend. And, he started spying on her, and it was like he didn't like what he found. So it's, what goes around comes around, type
so
of thing.
Is there karmic implications for that?
Karma is different, but it's just, if you do bad things, what happens is it kind of, at least I believe, this is my view, is it starts kind of damaging you at a psychic level and causes you problems. So it's, going out and, causing problems and engaging in malicious activities, using astral projection in that way. will probably cause you problems at a psyche level. It's just one of the things I was trained with was by the Russian Spetsnaz is learning to keep yourself clear, having good intentions, good thoughts, and because these are people who need to often go do very horrible things. They were special forces. They went out there, but one of the emphasis was that keeping yourself psychically clear, good intentions, taking care of yourself is how you protect yourself. If you're just going out there and start kind of doing malicious things, it becomes very, very it becomes sort of a spiral. You start hanging out with people like that who are bad, and it causes you more problems. It also makes you more vulnerable. So the people who have a very negative lives are notoriously vulnerable to possession, attachments, psychic attacks. So that's why, like I said, is engaging in that is going to probably come back to you. Not that it's necessarily karma, but you're just going to start kind of associating with problems that's going to come back and make yourself more vulnerable.
All right. So how often do you recommend people astral travel? Is this something that they should do once a week, once a month? What do you think?
It's perfectly safe, and the more you do it, the better you get. A lot of people often integrate it into their meditations. So, instead of a meditation and then say, hey, I'm going to astrally project to this place that I really, really like. So, for example, I've known a number of people, they build a beautiful house in the astral plane. And this is where they astrally project. So, I've got a room, my own personal room that, I'll often go to. It's like, okay, I've had a tough day. I will just go to this place, relax, and it's a beautiful room, a very Japanese style with katanas and samurai suits of armor, and this is where I'll astral project to there, and it's very relaxing. So I would recommend maybe building that place and then going there when you need a break.
Are there safe zones on the astral realm?
Yes, I mean, most of the astral places are, safe. It's like anything in the real world. If you're looking for problems, you can always find them, whether that's in the physical or the astral. But in general, most places are safe. So, again, I think in terms of the astral is very much of a mirror of the physical, If you decide you want to go out and look for some nasty entities or demons or something, there are definitely places you can go find that. But, it's like on the internet, if you're looking for bad places, it's not hard to find. But if you avoid them, you'll probably be a lot happier.
Are there areas where we shouldn't do this? Okay, what I mean by that, like you mentioned the story a little bit ago where this dude, very insecure, was checking in on his girlfriend and really, really did not have a good time with that. What shouldn't we be using astral travel for?
Again, the same rules in the physical, as much as the astral. I mean, in physical, do you go out and spy on your significant other? If you do, maybe that indicates there's some issues that need to be worked through. Do you try and manipulate people in the physical world? Well, probably not wanting to do it in the astral. Like I said, the way I learned is go in with good intentions. That's probably the best way to think about it. If you go in with bad intentions, you're probably going to get bad results.
We don't want them bad results. We got about 5.5 minutes left with you tonight. Richard Benack is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. We're talking astral travel. Richard, with this, are there certain people who should not do this? Okay, let's say you have health problems or some sort of medical diagnosis on something, or is this something that anybody can do, whether they are healthy or whether they suffer from some sort of health or mental issues?
There's certainly situations where, for example, drugs can have a major impact on your ability to do astral projection. I'm a big fan of not using drugs. I mean, there are some drugs that you can do to enhance it, but again, you're sort of taking it out of your control and, leaving it as, it's like driving down the road and taking your hands off the steering wheel, There may be some advantages to it, but there's some more risks. So if you're, if you're using drugs, any type of drugs, even, legal ones, you should maybe talk to your physician or your medical health person and see, how is this going to affect it? It's not dangerous, but you may find some drugs actually inhibit the use of astral projection and meditation. If you, like I said, you're having some mental health issues, talk to your mental health professional, get their views. But people who have physical health problems, there's nothing, to stop you from doing it, and it may help you as well. So it's fairly safe. Like I said, is what you want to do is what you do there. If you're looking for dangerous areas and problems, you may have bad experiences that will come back. But if you're going with good intention, it's like, I would like to go, to my place that I've built in the astral plane, or go to the Akashic records and get some information, or, I would like to meet, meet some friends in the astral. It's going to be safe regardless of your physical or even mental health status.
Do you believe then that what people are seeing on the astral plane will affect what they do in their daily lives on this plane? So, for instance, if they are accessing the Akashic records to find out what they're all about, how will that affect what they are doing on a daily basis with their job, their home life, their relationships?
What it's doing is it's giving you information. If you go to the Akashic records, it's going to give you information, and how you use that information is going to be up to you. You can sit there and say, nope, this is nonsense. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. You could say, this seems reasonable, and I'm going to do it. I mean, don't accept whatever you get, information you get on the astral plane without, applying critical thinking. Just because it came from the astral plane does not make it right, but it may give you some additional insight, and that's a great way to think of the astral plane as an astral projection as a tool to give you a slightly different perspective on the situation. It's taking you outside of your normal box, giving you a different view, and then you can decide if you want to use that or how you use that information.
And once again, you're saying there's no danger to this.
Right. I mean, it's you're in the end you're working with your subconscious. It's a good idea to learn the techniques for doing it so that it's easier to do. But it's healthy, to learn. It's at the very least you can think of it as almost a form of meditation.
All right, we have just over a minute left with you tonight here on Spaced Out Radio, and I'm very thankful for you coming on the show, Richard, to kick off after our Christmas as we took a break last night on the show. Do me a favor, tell people how they can get a hold of you or learn from you in one of your classes.
Certainly. So my email, you can contact me at Benack, Benack at hotmail.com, or I've got a website, highperformancenw.com. So HI performancenw.com. So like I said, if you want to get a hold of me, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to follow up with any of your listeners, because I appreciate the opportunity you've given me, Dave. Thank you.
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been absolutely awesome. Richard, thank you so much for coming on Spaced Out Radio tonight. You hold on. I'm going to take this thing out to break here because we still have lots of show to go yet. We got the SOR Newswire. We got the Thought of the Dave. Yes, the show continues right after this. Once again, Richard Benack, our guest. Make sure you get a hold of him if you want to try out Astral Travel a little bit more than just a quick tease of what we gave tonight. More coming up on Spaced Out Radio right after this.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using hashtag Spaced Out Radio. You can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Move over, brother, and let me own Saturday night. This is Rich Giordano, and I'm inviting you to tune on in to Spaced Out Saturdays starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, where I'm going to bust open the lids on everything paranormal. Why? Because we want answers, and I'm the guy who's going to deliver those answers to you. Join the chat rooms, and we'll see you this Saturday. Just be there. No, really.
At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
A little bit of science, a little bit of skepticism. Add a dash of snark and you have the makings of Spaced Out Sundays with me, Everett Thiemer. Together we will look into the reality of the paranormal with an open eye and rational thought. Oh, did I mention there'll be plenty of woo as well? Your time spent with Spaced Out Sundays will make the night even better. The chat rooms are open, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey, Spaced Out Radio fans! It's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from dance to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for tuning us in. Hope you had a great Christmas yesterday. I know I sure did. You know, I had something happen today that I'd only dreamed of. Put it on my Twitter account and my Instagram account. I got a photograph I've been waiting years for. I got a photograph of my son playing hockey with my dad. Pretty damn cool. I'm pretty proud of that photo. One that I will cherish forever. I hope you had a moment like that over the holidays as well. Hey, I want to remind all of you that if you've missed this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a bunch of stuff on there for you. It's absolutely fantastic, including joining the Space Travelers Club for $5 a month. You can do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Don't forget to grab a great book at We Read the Night. Yeah, we still sell books here. I don't know about you. I can't get into that whole Kudo thing or Kobo thing or whatever the hell it's called. You know, those electronic books where you read it on like your phone or your tablet or something. Can't get into that. Cannot get into that. I like a good book in my hand. I want to smell the book, feel it. So go to our website and pick one on up. Captain Shirk also has the SOR Newswire updated daily.
This
The news is always changing, which is why we bring you the SOR News Wire at the back end of every show, where we get to the weird, the strange, the wacky, sometimes the really darn cool. You know what? This is very cool, this story right here. It's okay for bird watchers to sit and search on their own. Our message to visitors is to slow down while driving in the park and look out for the nene. Yeah, apparently down in Hawaii, the nene, the state bird, is coming back. Apparently it dwindled down to fewer than 100 birds in the wild. Well, today, that number has grown to over 3,000. Earlier in December, the native goose was removed from the endangered species list. I love hearing stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that they're easy for visitors to see. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park does not share nene locations or lead nene watching tours due to the vulnerability of this endemic species. Spokeswoman Jessica Farrakane wrote in an email, Hawaii at one time had 9 species of geese, likely evolved from the Canadian goose, of course. Blame Canada. Only the nene still thrives. Interior Secretary David Bernard traveled to Hawaii on December 9th to announce the species was downlisted to threatened after decades-long captive breeding programs. Through collaboration and hard work, the nene is out of intensive care and on the pathway to recovery, he said. Not all of Hawaii's endemic birds are so lucky, though. Hawaii is the endangered species capital of the world, and our birds are feeling it worse than ever, says Max Phillips, the director of Hawaii's Center for Biological Diversity in Honolulu. The situation is quite grave for many species. Many are down to maybe 150 to 300 birds, says Jack Jeffrey, a wildlife biologist who has studied the Big Island's birds for more than 30 years. Several of Hawaii's bird species, such as the yellow and green feathered Akiapolau, a species of honeycreeper, live in a single habitat on the slopes of the dormant Mauna Kea volcano. It pecks into wood of dead and dying trees and finds wood-boring larvae. Jeffrey said it pecks with its lower bill and then uses its long, thin upper bill to reach into the hole and grab the insects to pick them on out. Yeah, that bird spends a full year teaching its young how to thrive. It takes a long time to learn how to use that weird bill, he says. Over on Oahu, it's relatively easy for Honolulu visitors to spot white terns, a seabird native to Hawaii. The terns love city life, which takes them away from predators such as rats and owls. It's safer for them to breed there, says Richard Downs, an amateur ornithologist from Hawaii. Once a month, Downs leads visitors and locals on free walking tours of Oahu. He will then lead tours to show off the birds. Why not? Why not? Either way, the nene is coming back, and that's a good sign. Another good sign is a rare environmental success story unfolding in the waters off the U.S. West Coast. After years of fear and uncertainty, bottom trawler fishermen, those who use nets to scoop up rockfish, bocaccio, sole, Pacific Ocean perch, and other deep-dwelling fish are making a comeback here, reinventing themselves as a sustainable industry less than 2 decades after authorities closed huge stretches of the Pacific Ocean because of the species depletion. The ban devastated fishermen, but on January 1st, regulators will reopen an area roughly 3 times the size of Rhode Island off the coast of Oregon and California to groundfish bottom trawling. All with the approval of environmental groups that were once the industry's biggest foes. The two sides collaborated on a long-term plan that will continue to resuscitate the groundfish industry while permanently protecting thousands of square miles of reefs and coral beds that benefit the overfished species. Now the fishermen, who will see their livelihood returning, must solve another piece of the puzzle, drumming up consumer demand for fish that haven't been in a grocery store or on menus for a generation. It's really a conservation home run, says Shams Jude, Regional Director of the Environmental Defense Fund's Ocean Program. The recovery is decades ahead of schedule. It's the biggest environmental story that no one knows about. The process also netted a win for conservationists concerned about the future of extreme deep water habitats where the bottom trawlers currently don't go. A tract of ocean the size of New Mexico with waters up to 2.1 miles deep will be off limits to bottom trawling to protect deep sea corals and sponges now being discovered. discovered. Not all fishermen are rapers of the environment. When you hear the word trawler, very often that's associated with destruction of the sea and pillaging, said Kevin Dunn, whose trawler, Iron Lady, was featured in the Whole Foods television commercial about sustainable fishing. Groundfish is a catch-all term that refers to dozens of species that live on or near the bottom of the Pacific off the west coast. Trawling vessels drag weighted nets to collect as many fish as possible, but that can damage critical rocky underwater habitat. The groundfish fishery hasn't always struggled. Starting in 1976, the federal government subsidized the construction of domestic fishing vessels to lock down U.S. interests in West Coast waters. And by the 1980s, that investment paid off. Bottom trawling was booming, with 500 vessels in California, Oregon, and Washington hauling in around 200 million pounds of non-whiting groundfish a year. Unlike Dungeness crabs and salmon, groundfish could be harvested year-round, providing an economic backbone for ports. However, that changed in the 90s, looks to be coming back. A Virginia lawmaker wants to narrow the definition of milk. Awkward silence. Yeah, apparently they want to narrow the definition of milk as something that comes only from a healthy hooved animal. Virginia Beach Republican Barry Knight is pushing legislation that would ban makers of increasingly popular products like soy milk and almond milk from marketing their products as milk. Knight says he's trying to protect the state's dairy farmers and that his legislation is similar to what has passed in other states. Opponents of the legislation said the legislation is unnecessary and hurts competition. Knight's bill defines milk as lacteal secretion from a list of animals that includes cows, water buffalo, sheep, goats, yaks, deer, reindeer, moose, horses, and donkeys. That's milk. Okay? It's just like there's no such thing as hamburgers or vegan hamburgers, pardon me. No such thing. There's no such thing as fake hamburgers or fake chicken or tofu turkey or whatever. All right? There's no such thing. Stop stealing the names to try and make your product more edible when we all know it's less edible. All right? Milk is milk. Comes from a cow. Chocolate milk if it's a brown cow. No, I don't believe that. But either way, let's get to it. An excited UFO enthusiast recently filmed a large, bright-lit object moving over Las Vegas, Nevada last week. The footage, which has recently managed to attract the attention of both social media users and local news channels, was filmed on the evening of December 19th by Steve Barone. Lasting over 6 minutes, the video shows a seemingly sizable object moving slowly over the city before climbing and moving back in the opposite direction at greater speed. Nobody heard any sound at all, and the UFO could have covered a 50-mile span in 3 minutes, says Barone. That would equal 1,000 miles per hour. To be fair, let's just say it only traveled 25 miles. With over 155,000 views on YouTube, the video has certainly provided popular. However, not everyone is in agreement that the object he captured on camera is anything out of the ordinary. Contrary to Barone's claims, the UFO does not appear to be moving anywhere near 1,000 miles per hour and has been suggested that it may be a little more than a helicopter or a drone flying over the city. Yeah, if you haven't seen this footage, you know what? Here's the thing. If you have a UFO flying over Las Vegas, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, all right? I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all. But they got this little thing called Nellis Air Force Base right there. Do you not think, with the largest military base in the United States, in the continental North America, that they would not have got some jet fighters, some F-22s, some F-35s, F-15s, F-16s, and scrambled them, much like what happened in Phoenix? And there's a blue light, or what looks to be a blue light, blinking on this thing. To me, it looks like a helicopter. I'm sticking with a helicopter. I don't believe it's a UFO. He does, Steve Barone. but there was no military intercept. And when you have a base the size, you know, I know the Twitter crowd's going to be upset with me because I'm not doing woo here, not going through the woo. Okay, and usually Dave likes his woo. All right, but this is not a UFO. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I just don't. Hey, let's travel to India here. A prestigious Indian university is offering a certificate course to teach doctors how to treat people who claim to see or be possessed by ghosts. The 6-month course in a northern city of Varanasi will begin in January. Officials say it will focus on psychosomatic disorders, which are often confused with paranormal occurrences. The course will be conducted by the Faculty of Ayurveda, the ancient Hindu system of medicine and healing. A BHU official told the media that a separate unit of Bhut Vidya, ghost studies, has been set up in the university. Bhut Vidya mainly deals with psychosomatic disorders, diseases caused by unknown reasons, and diseases of mind or psychic conditions, Yamini Bhushan Tripathi said. She added that the university was the first in the country to offer such a course, which would teach doctors about the Ayurvedic remedies to treat ghost-related ailments. Ayurvedic therapies generally include herbal medicines, diet changes, massages, breathing, and other forms of exercise. According to a 2016 study by the National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience, nearly 14% of all Indians are mentally ill. And in 2017, the WHO estimated that 20% of Indians might suffer from depression at some point in their lives. But there are less than 4,000 mental health professionals in a country of 1.3 billion people, and there is little awareness about these issues. Also, because of widespread social stigma, few seek professional help or care, and many Indians, especially in rural and poorer areas, visit shamans and witch doctors in the hope that they will be able to cure their mental illnesses. The news that the government-run BHU will be starting a course in Bhut Vidya has been questioned on social media by some who point out that medicine and rehab were more appropriate methods to deal with mental health issues. Got ghosts, you get to see a doctor now. Cool story here out of Woodbury, Minnesota. A police officer who cited a woman for stealing groceries had a change of heart when he realized the 61-year-old widow, who was caring for numerous children and grandchildren, was desperate for food. Sarah Lindgren, who lives in the Minneapolis suburb of Oakdale, was scanning groceries in a self-checkout lane at Walmart a few days before Thanksgiving when she realized there was more food in her cart that she could afford. She bagged the food anyways and headed to the door in her motorized wheelchair. At that point, I was done, she said. I was just tired and drained. I didn't care anymore. Lindgren's husband died unexpectedly a few years ago, leaving her to care for her disabled daughter, her 18-year-old twins, 4 grandchildren, and a great-granddaughter. Money was tight, and she had been rationing food. It had been a while since we ate a good meal, she said. I was determined to give them a good meal no matter what it cost me. As she moved towards the exit, an employee stopped her and asked her to come to a private room waiting for police. Woodbury officer Brian Wagner, who got the call, listened to Lindgren's story, but he wasn't sure he believed it. He said that many people are facing similar circumstances, lied to him, and he cited Lindgren for theft. However, Wagner decided to do a little bit further research into Lindgren's situation and discovered she had no criminal history, no run-ins with police, and was indeed caring for many children, so he tore up the citation. Wagner didn't stop there, though. He went to the Christian Cupboard emergency food shelf in Oakdale to get some information he could give Lindgren. Food pantry volunteers gave her more than that. She says, they allowed me to shop for her and help me the entire time, filling my entire front seat, back seat, and trunk of my squad car with food for the woman's family, along with resources. When Lindgren saw the squad car pulling up to her house, she thought Wagner was coming to arrest her and possibly take her children away. She was shocked when she saw the groceries and refused to accept them at first, saying she didn't deserve it. When the officer convinced her to take the goods, she was overcome with emotion. She cried and hugged me for about 2 straight minutes, Wagner said. He was like my guardian angel, Lindgren said. I've never seen an officer go out of his way the way he did. He is my hero. That's a great story. That's a great story. Good on Officer Wagner for doing that. Very, very brave of him to do that. A North Carolina couple who believed there was a burglar in their home called 911 and responding deputies quickly identified the suspect, a robotic vacuum. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office responded to a 911 call in the early hours of Christmas Day from a couple who said they heard an intruder downstairs. Hold on. It's Christmas Day. It's Santa Claus, man. Come on. Weren't you watching NORAD Santa? Anyways, the couple hid in their closet until deputies arrived. The deputies soon found the cause of the sounds. It was their vacuum. Homeowner Thomas Milam said he and his partner had only owned the Eufy robotic vacuum, which they dubbed Harry, for 3 days. It's definitely better safe than sorry, because having heard what we did, I still would have called the police, because you just never know. Watch out for the robotic vacuums. Thought of the Day happens every night at this time, where we take a question on our Facebook and Twitter pages, then read your responses on the air, because we love the audience participation around here. Today's Thought of the Day: what is your thoughts on astral travel? Let's get to it, shall we? Let's start out with Derek. Woo! He loves his woo, Derek does. Marty, it's a lot more comfortable way to travel than boarding a modern airliner that has tiny seats and no legroom. All right, Taro, I love the experience. Julianne, I did experience it. Yeah, waiting for all those noobs to start trying to tell lies about it. Yeah, sure. Nathan, I'm all for it so long as they offer decent frequent flyer programs. Cajun Medicine Man, it's real, Dave. It's real. PBR, otherwise known as Pro Bull Rider. It's kind of scary, Captain. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. All right, let's get to Facebook. We'll read a few here. All right. Buddy, stay at home. You may end up in Memphis, like the Grizzlies. Steven, ask TTSA. Then again, don't. Shayla, it'd be great if I could stop doing it unintentionally. Catherine, astral travel can be a very strong healing and perspective mechanism for people to grow mentally. Eugene, the best thing about astral travel is being able to purposely travel to various dimensions and realms on an expert level, as opposed to just being someone who sometimes had uncontrolled out-of-body experiences. Debbie, I can do it and know it can be done. Barry, I've had recurring OBEs when I was younger, but as I aged, my interest in the matter waned. Brian, it's a fact. And Park gets the final word. I've done it. Hey, big thank you to everybody taking part in the Thought of the Dave. We'll do it again tomorrow on Facebook and Twitter. Big thanks to Captain Shirk for some wonderful news tonight in the SOR Newswire. It can be found on our website. And to Richard Benack for coming on in, teaching us all about astral travel. Make sure you look him up. He's got a great course there. If you want to investigate that a little bit more, I'm actually thinking, if I can get an extra 10 minutes a week, I may do that course. I suggest you do as well. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody listening in at home, at work, in your cars, in our chat rooms on LGAB, Spreaker, Revolution Radio, Facebook, all of you SOR Space Travelers Club members on our website, and the snarkers and snarkettes on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. You guys made it a lot of fun tonight. Thank you so much for that. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Hey, I want to say thanks for letting me take the night off last night for Christmas, but we're back tonight, solid, steady, and together, my friends, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Let's do this, right? We finish off the month on Friday, tomorrow, or today, with the SOR Roundtable, bringing in some friends. We're going to talk about the year and the month that was here on Spaced Out Radio. Have a great night.